Hey guys, so we're here back with another video. So on today's video, I'm going to be making a taco bowl. Okay, so the first step to this taco bowl, we're going to start with the rice because that takes a little bit longer to cook. But I'm going to make chipotle cilantro lime rice. You know, give a little pizzazz, a little bit more flavor. Okay, so I have 2 cups of rice, Jasmine white rice. You can use whatever rice you have. If you have long grain rice, Jasmine rice, there's so many different rices. Even if you have brown rices, you can use that as well. So I'm going to use 2 cups of white rice, but first you need to clean your rice. Okay, some people cook and they don't clean their rice. You got to clean your rice, guys. So I'm going to clean this with, like, you know, some warm water. Not warm, more cold than warm. And then we're gonna, if you have one of those strainers, you can use a strainer. I just always do it this way because you have to get the rice, you have to get the not the rice, the starch off of the rice. So you see how milky that is? Very milky. You want to make sure your rice is clean and clear. The water should be clear as much as possible when you're going to finish start cooking. So I'm going to finish doing this. You're going to do this good maybe 5 to 6 times. If it's less than that, as far as when you see the water clear, then you're good. If you still see that it's foamy like this, you need to still clean it. All right, I'll show you what it looks like once it's done. Okay, I have my fire on. Now we're going to add 3 cups of water. Okay, so that's 1 cup of water. And then I added 2 cups of water in here. Okay, usually, like my mom taught me, you want to make sure it comes up to this part of your finger, which it seems like it's a little bit more, and take some out. All right, that should be good to go. Then you're going to add in your 1 bay leaf. I have fresh bay leaf here. If you have dried, that's totally fine. We're going to sprinkle in some salt. Okay. And then I'm going to add some butter. And then the rest of the ingredients come at the end once it's done, like the cilantro, the lime juice. You can splash a little bit of lemon juice in it as well. We're going to also add some more butter. Avocado is preferred, but I ran out of avocado oil. So I'm just going to put a little bit more butter. And then I'm going to show you how it should look at the end. So we're going to let this come to a boil. Once you see it's boiling, you're going to turn your fire down. I like to put aluminum foil over when I'm cooking rice. And then I add the top on because it helps cook it better for me. And I make sure it's done that way. So, and then you're going to turn your fire down and you should cook it for about, let's say 15 minutes. 15 minutes should be good. Okay. I'll see you when it's on the next step. Okay, as you see, it has come to a boil. I'm going to turn the fire down. I'm going to add my aluminum foil over it. And then I'm going to add a little bit right on top of it. Okay. And this is going to help it cook perfect. All right. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. We're going to move on to the next step of making our ground turkey for the taco bowl. Okay, guys. So as you see, my rice is fully cooked and it's done. You see we have the bay leaf here on top. We're going to remove that. We do not want that in our rice. That was just to give some flavoring. And I'm going to scoop out my rice into this bowl because then we're going to add all of the other ingredients inside. One good thing about using a non-stick pot, the rice just slides right out. That's how you know your rice came out perfect. You want to just slide right out. It's just perfect. Okay, put that to the side. Right now I'm gonna, usually you can use 3 teaspoons of avocado oil. I don't have none right now because I ran out, so I'm gonna use some butter. Okay, we're gonna mix this around. And of course avocado oil is healthier, guys. But I like butter on my rice anyway. I don't know about y'all, but I like butter. But we're gonna, you know, when you're doing like a taco bowl, I could see why you would want avocado oil, because you don't want your rice to be tasting like a bunch of butter, right? But today, this is what we're doing. So I'm gonna mix that all in. As the butter melts, I just took my butter out of the oops, be careful, I don't want to spill the rice, out of the refrigerator, so that's why it's taking a little bit longer to melt. So I'm gonna keep stirring this until this melt, and then we're gonna add the other ingredients. Alright, so it's nice and mixed in with the butter. Now I'm gonna add in 2 pinches of salt. That's good. I'm gonna mix that in. You need to make sure your rice have some flavor. And that's kosher salt, guys. If you have iodized salt, which is it's more thinner, the grinds, it's more thinner. More fine, that's the word, more fine. You can use that as well. Alright. That is good to go. And then now I'm going to add in my cilantro. Okay, so I cut up a lot of cilantro, guys. I have to use all of this. This should be, let's see how this looks. Let's see if we need to add any more. That was 2 pinches that I used of cilantro, which looks like a lot to me. And I always wanted to make this a taco bowl, guys. I don't know why I never made it, but making it today. You know, sometimes you want new stuff. And then, you know, Chipotle, they be cheap with their rice. They don't be want to give you no rice. So if you're going to make this yourself, you can eat as much as you want. Of course, portion control is important. But, you know, you could do this for you and your family. Like, you can make it like, you know, we're going to have Taco Tuesdays, or it's going to be Chipotle night, you know. Different things just to spice up the recipes in your kitchen. I just think it's fun. I love cooking. It's so therapeutic for me. And it's just a pleasing feeling when you see people like your food. It's like amazing. So I'm going to add just a little bit more. And I think we're good to go. Especially if they're eating your food and not talking. Your food is delicious. Your food is delicious. And everybody's not going to, like I've learned, you know, like your food. And that's okay, because everybody have their own preference. But as long as you like your food and the people you normally serve it for, that's all that matters. Everybody got an opinion, but everybody's opinion is not, it don't matter. Okay, so look at that. That looks really good, guys. Now I'm going to, what I do, I have my lime. So this is a new technique I found on Instagram. So, you know, when you got limes, guys, it's always hard to squeeze it, because it's just so difficult, because it's hard. So if you cut the top of it out, just around, and pick it out, you get more juice. Look at that, guys. I'm so happy I found this, because I'm like, you know what, I like to make my life easier. So we're gonna just squeeze some in. Look, you don't even gotta, I'm not even pressing that hard to get the juice out. Right, the lime, not gonna use all of it. And then this recipe that I decided to do is a little bit of lemon, just a little bit, because it's cilantro lime rice, but that adds a little bit more flavor to it. Make sure you get it all mixed in. Now you see, this rice is more fluffy. I love jasmine rice over any other rice. If you want it to be, you know, more coarse, the rice, you could just use long grain rice. That helps too. Alright, so I feel like it's done, guys. So now let's finish up this ground turkey.